Kevin Feige opens up about Phase 5, Kang, and the future of the MCU. And like I said, this comes from via Entertainment Weekly. Marvel's top boss sits down for an exclusive deep dive with Entertainment Weekly, teasing multiverses, mutants, and more. So, welcome to Phase 5. Avengers Endgame proved to be anything but the end for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And since then, and also shout out to Lady Serafina for the subscription. I know that just popped up on the video. Anyways, after closing out the Infinity Saga in 2019, okay, and killing off a few of its top players, Marvel turned its attention to the multiverse, kicking off Phase 5 with a slew of films and Disney Plus TV shows, including WandaVision, Shang-Chi, and The Legend of the Ten Rings, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Now Marvel is ready to begin its next chapter, and Entertainment Weekly has their exclusive preview when Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania hits theaters Friday, which obviously already hit theaters, to mark the beginning of the Phase 5. So here, Feige teases Marvel's future plans from the villainous Kang the Conqueror to the long-awaited introduction of the Fantastic Four. So this is Kevin Feige. We want to kick off Phase 5 with a team of heroes that you already know. We knew that if we were going to do another Ant-Man film, it was always the idea to spend the majority of time in the quantum realm. This place you've heard about in various movies and seen glimpses of. We wanted to actually explore it. When we were making the earlier films, we saw the visuals of the quantum realm, like Scott. See that back there? That's a city. See that over there? That's a whole civilization, which obviously we knew that was teased way back then. So he said we were hoping that one day we could explore more of it. For years, we've always had the inkling that Kang would be an amazing follow up to Thanos. He's got the equal stature in the comics, but he's a completely different villain. Mainly that's because he's multiple villains. He's so unique from Thanos, which we really like. And in the early days of Quantumania, Jonathan started to pop in a big way. He's the highest testing villain we've ever had in any of our friends and families screenings. That's really saying something with a movie like this. Even early on, without the effects, Jonathan is his own effect. He was working from the start. It's always one of the fun rolls of the dice that we do at Marvel, which is to say, hey, we're going to make multiple movies around this character, and we're going to start before the audience has even had a chance to meet him. We really go all in on these ideas in the casting. It was a big relief when the season ender of Loki season 1 happened. People really seem to be on board for Kang. People are chanting Kang when Jonathan goes on the shows. Um, let's go on to where he's talking about the Phase 5 in Secret Wars. So, right here, he says it's really a classification system for the audience that's following along. It's to keep track of how the pieces fit in place. I didn't really talk a lot about the overarching themes or direction of Phase 4 until afterward, in large part because we are always adapting and weaving as creative demands and new ideas come up. But I would say, in very generalized terms, as you see in Quantum Mania, it's about setting up the big overarching thread that will go through the next phases. Now, every film in the Infinity Saga focused on the Infinity Stones of Thanos, and it'll be the same across Phase 5 and Phase 6. But we're getting up. People will get a taste of this in a big way in Quantumania as we lead to Avengers Secret Wars, which I'm extremely excited for. I'm coming up on 23 years at Marvel. That's a long time. It's not quite half my life, but it's almost half my life. Many of us have been together for a decade or more, and we only do it because we're so excited and in love with the potential for what we can do ahead. The storylines that we gathered through Phase 5 and 6 into Secret Wars and the opportunities that the multiverse brings, storytelling wise, it's a whole new aspect to the MCU. So this is where we get into more talking about mutants. He says, I hope you learned something on every project. I was very pleased with everything that we did. Kamala Khan, for instance, is a great new character in the Pantheon. I'm very proud of the Miss Marvel show. I also know and this is a spoiler, she is essentially steals the Marvels, which is coming out July 28th. Makes me excited that people will, I hope, see that movie and then go back and revisit those shows on Disney Plus. The fun thing about streaming is they are there forever, and people can keep re-exploring them. Moon Knight, same thing. I think there's future for that character as we move forward. So Kevin Feige just teased also that Moon Knight, that won't be the end of Moon Knight. We already kind of knew that. They've been like doing some stuff for like technically season two. We just haven't got that right on confirmation. But just to hear that is absolutely, absolutely insane. Then obviously he talks about She-Hulk, um, and that being the Ally McBeal type of style. So this is pretty. I think this is pretty cool. He also goes on to talk about Charlie Cox and Daredevil as well. So there was a lot of stuff that he talked about in this Entertainment Weekly article, and it just really does gear us up to all the stuff that we talk, for the future. Like for example, this is where it gets interesting when he talks about mutants. So he's like, I think we've said the word once, Lavs. Kamala talks about a genetic mutation, and Namor refers to himself as a mutant amongst his own people. And mutant is a real genetic term, not just a comic book term. But part of the fun is that I've been at this company for half my life, and we're just now tapping into arguably one of the biggest aspects of the publishing history. It's pretty remarkable, and it's a testament to the House of Ideas and what Marvel Publishing has done these 80 years. The question is how to do it and when to do it, and that's something we've been working on for years. Now we know, but we're not going to talk about it. So they already have the plan kind of rolled out for mutants. He doubles down on the Deadpool 3 and Hugh Jackman, and he's like, "That's our first rated R film," and they keep stressing on it heavy. Like we already knew that that was going to be rated R, but they keep talking about that heavy. And then, like I said, going to the Captain America New World Order, he confirmed, like legit, it's confirmed already that Harrison Ford is Thaddeus Ross. So he says we start filming relatively soon. I'm sure anyone you've ever talked with about Harrison Ford says this, but it's unbelievable that we get to meet and talk with him. That he's embracing this role. He's tireless with the amount of work that he does. This is certainly a big part for Thaddeus Ross. He's the president of the United States in the film, and with Harrison, you think about Air Force One, and you think about some of the confrontations with the president in Clear and Present Danger. There's dynamic between President Ross and Sam Wilson. They have a history together, but in this film, we'll be seeing the dynamic between Captain America, the President of the U.S., in a way that is just incredible. This has been a dream for years, ever since Jon Favreau cast Harrison Ford in Cowboys and Aliens. I was always very jealous of that. So to have him finally in the MCU is just incredible. It's like I can cross that off the wish list. So this is just insane, y'all. Super, super, super insane. He also talked about Blade. Okay, he said you also got the Blade movie with Mahershala Ali for the next year, right? How's that going? He's like, it's going well. Our director Jan Demange is down in Atlanta right now. Cameras roll in like the next 10 weeks or so. So we can say in about next 2 to 3 months, um, we'll have Blade officially start filming, which is a pretty cool update, if I'm being honest. So shout out to Kevin Feige for dropping this insanely huge article and just giving us this massive update. And also opens up about the future of Phase 5 and Phase 6, and let us know that yes, mutants, um, teasing more multiverse stuff. This is pretty cool. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe. We are doing a giveaway at 1K. You will automatically be entered once you leave a like, couple of comments, and subscribe. So which project so far that is announced? Because there's still a lot of stuff that is unannounced that we haven't got. So whatever is unannounced, that's up for Theory City. But for the ones that's already announced out there, which one is your favorite projects that you're like most anticipated for? If I'm being honest, I feel like for me, obviously Secret Wars. I've been geeking out for Secret Wars. even before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So I can't even really say that, but I will say Blade is a movie I am super pumped for. Another movie that I feel like another TV series is the X-Men '97, which I can close off this video because this tidbit, I mean, recently just dropped, and sorry if I am lagging just a little bit, y'all. So I'm gonna pull this up right now. Um, Retweeted this on my profile. So, X-Men '97 head writer Bo DeMayo has seemingly indicated that the Disney Plus series is still set to release this year, despite Marvel Studios' recent delays. So, still pumped. Don't freak out, y'all, because this is still going to be releasing this year. So, whew, thankfully.
Nobody said love would come.